It's Ween, and I've always been extra when it comes to my costumes. Halloween is a very serious event after all. But my old TV head is outdated. It was my first ever big mechatronics project and was made using this LED matrix grid that isn't as versatile as I'd like. Not to mention I'm also much better and smarter than my past self was, so it's time for an upgrade. My first order of business will of course be replacing the LED matrix for an actual screen, and luckily I had a whole stash of laptop screens to choose from after I absolutely mugged a few old laptops. But obviously we don't need all of these dusty old things, so I just chose the lightest one because I was already dreading how heavy this thing was about to be. But considering this is a laptop screen from a laptop with laptop screen connectors, man, that was hard to say. A normal HDMI isn't exactly going to cut it for the only connector it has here. So I'll be needing one of these monitor adapters that can conveniently be found pretty easily on Amazon by searching a code that looks something like this printed somewhere on the back of the screen. And after spending more than I thought one of these things would cost, I finally have my adapter thingy with its one non-ancient video input and that fat little connector that fits very comfortably into the screen. Now for the brains of this thing, I've decided to go with this Raspberry Pi 4 in place of the Arduino Nano that was just kind of hanging around in my old TV head, making the Nano look about as useless and insignificant as this camera I bought for some reason but never even ended up using. But this thing is less useless, since I'll be needing it to write the Raspberry Pi's operating system onto. So after getting it plugged into the microSD card reader, and the microSD card reader plugged into my PC, we can start to get into the real magic, like making a quick detour from installing the Raspberry Pi OS to install a program called Sunshine first onto my host PC, which will later be paired with another program called Moonlight installed onto my Raspberry Pi. Together, these two programs will basically let me use my Raspberry Pi setup as a glorified mobile monitor for my much beefier desktop PC. So with Sunshine installed and all this boring configuration done behind your back, now it's time to install the Raspberry Pi OS via the Raspberry Pi Imager to make my difficult life a little easier. And after ignoring my computer's demands to format all of my hard work, I got this bad boy all wired up and decided to commit even more configuration sins while you weren't looking. But this is where we can install Moonlight, and if you know anything about Linux-based systems, they literally make nothing easy. So after needing to take the time to painstakingly type out all of the commands line by line, instead of just, being able to download and run a executable like any normal operating system, I finally have Moonlight up and running, where I can see all of the PCs on the network and connect to the only one there, with a code that takes an embarrassing amount of time to read and put into Sunshine for some reason. But after finally getting my act together, I've now officially turned my Raspberry Pi into a glorified monitor that I can take anywhere I want because of some secret configurations I set in Sunshine. But I bet you're wondering why exactly it was necessary for me to turn my Raspberry Pi 4 into a glorified monitor in the first place. Why can't I just be happy with the raw power of the Raspberry Pi 4 itself? Well, that's a stupid question. It's clearly so that I can incorporate my TV head character's huge eye that I've always wanted to make move and blink with my actual real-life eye since I built the first version, and so that I can play actual games right on my face, obviously. But it's mainly to be able to take advantage of Vtube Studio's eye tracking, since I'm way too lazy to try and make some type of eye tracking software myself. But obviously none of the default models are really what I'm going for, so I got to designing and rigging my own 2D model in a program called Live 2D, which apparently has a pretty steep learning curve. But after finally getting an actually pretty cool working model for my first ever rig, I honestly got hooked and decided to rinse and repeat that whole process, which was made a little harder since my free trial decided to expire on me, and I wasn't able to rig this eye with as much detail as I was planning. Which is fine, I guess, because it's time to move on to the shell, which was a particular pain to work out since I ended up having to go with this absolute unit of an old CRT that my sister found on the side of the road for free, because all of the more appropriately sized CRT TVs were either hiding from me or were trying to be sold for an absolute fortune. So I got to work sanding down, painting, and fixing the previous painting, all while dreading how massive this thing was going to look on my 5'3" body. But once it was all done, it actually cleaned up pretty nice. It's actually the exact style of TV I wanted anyway. I just like complaining, and this thing really is pretty heavy. And I probably should have done this whole hole cutting step for my massive head before adding a beautiful new spray paint job, but this thing was also covered in rust spots and mystery stains I couldn't quite get rid of on the inside that I really didn't want to stick my head in while I tested the fit. But after finally cutting enough with this dull ass blade to just kind of be able to push the rest through and hoping the hole was actually big enough so that I didn't have to do any more cutting because my hand was cramping at this point. So I decided it was good enough and teleported back to the Raspberry Pi setup that I've sneakily added a tiny screen to while you were distracted again. I also added a speaker and a USB webcam with a mic so that I can actually be heard while my entire head was inside of a giant TV, and so that I could still use the webcam face tracking with Vtube Studio. Luckily, Sunlight and Moonlight already has a built-in protocol for handling streaming audio from my PC over to the Raspberry Pi, but I wasn't so lucky when it came to the webcam streaming. But that's fine, because I found a program called FlexiHub, free trial of course, which basically turns my glorified remote monitor into a glorified remote USB hub as well. And after testing that this thing actually works with Vox, my new eye model in Vtube Studio, we can all see that the connection works flawlessly, as all of my projects always do on the first try. But if I'm going to be wearing this thing out as a costume, I'm also going to need a way to free my boy from these cables. So I scrounged out this 12-volt 5-amp lithium-ion battery I used in an old project that should be enough to power this whole thing for about 90 minutes if my neck doesn't snap off first. And so that I could avoid frying a $60 Raspberry Pi, I'm also going to be needing this boost buck converter set to 5 volts that I had to quadruple check the very simple wiring on after the bastard traumatized me the very first time I ever used this board by nearly burning my house down through no fault of my own. The monitor on the other hand takes a convenient 12 volts already though, so stressing myself out over wiring another one of these things won't be necessary. So I finished soldering that thingy up, tested it to make sure nothing blew up, and added these cute little LED switches, one for the monitor and one for the whole circuit. I could have just used one for the whole thing, but I needed to fill the empty button holes on the TV. Shut up. Because now it's finally time to slap everything together about 10 separate times, because I didn't actually plan how all of this would fit in here, only an inch from my face. The only thing I really did bother to plan out was the satisfying screen peel and the crappy periscope vision that still doesn't let me see much, but is better than trying to look through a solid screen. Hi, I didn't know how to do this transition. So don't mind Baldur's Gate. I had to find another way to flex upon my viewers because the whole webcam and eye tracking didn't exactly work out, because apparently none of the webcams I had were exactly made to work in super low light areas like the inside of a TV head, for example. Shocking, I know. But in my defense, I originally wanted to go with one of those fancy infrared cameras that was specifically made for things like the Raspberry Pi, because I had kind of anticipated this problem in the first place. But none of the ones I could find were exactly in my budget. I already had spent way too much on this thing as it was, but it would have worked perfectly if I did have the right camera, trust me. I mean, I can play Baldur's Gate on my face. I think that deserves a sub in and of itself. But, the speaker also ended up being a price issue, which is why I'm forced to talk out of my neck right now. Because, I mean, the speaker works fine, too. It's able to pick up audio through the webcam's mic and send it through the speaker that's around here, and it pairs just fine with a voice mod and stuff like that. The audio just sucks, and I have more respect for my viewers, so I'm not going to force anyone to listen to that for however long this segment is. It turns out the vision also isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, I still feel like I'm looking through one of those door mail slot things, but it's functional. But it's not like my eyesight is much better even with this thing off. And even though most things about this thing is perfect, just like every other thing I make is, I still wouldn't exactly choose gaming on this over literally anything else, because if I haven't mentioned this before, this thing is in fact extremely heavy. I mean, I had to counterbalance the back of it with a bag of literal rocks, because this whole front section that has, all of the electronics in it is so heavy. But now it's just kind of overall heavy. Another thing I didn't really see coming, just because of how spacious this thing is on the inside, is that it's also very humid. I mean, I'm forgetting what I want to say next because I feel like my head is in a sauna and I'm about to either pass out, hyperventilate, or just short something out that's literally like 2 inches from caressing my face. So I'm gonna go now before something bad happens. Thank you for coming to my face reveal.